this island, this rocky island, this may look unfamiliar to people unless you've been really watching my series from the very, very, very beginning. Then you may have a slight familiarity about it. And in fact, actually, there might be a slight familiarity if you've been watching the series, but we're trying to think, why is this familiar? And the reason why this is familiar, this is the world seed that we used for Unorthoblocks, and this is where DrakenSpire was to be built. So this is what the land looked like before I came along. There's this big mountainous region. These mountains vanish. I just ripped them to pieces. There's like a whole lake and reservoir that's sort of down in the area just below here. This is like literally down here. These are like become the sea stacks where I have my iron farm. This bit over here, I mean, that tall piece there, this tall mountain was the first one, right in the middle here, was the first one I tore down. That actually becomes the location of the starter house that I built, which then we have the plinth that comes out the front, which comes to about here. This was actually, once we tore the mountains down, it sort of formed this natural sort of front platform that you see at the DrakenSpire. And then if we come over here, this would be where there's a reservoir there, which obviously you can see there's like a river that goes through here, sort of broken river. And actually that sort of crevice can be seen at the bottom of the reservoir still. And if we come over to this way, this rock here, you sort of see over here, we'd normally have like the Sweet Berry Farm was here, and then we got some housing around here sort of thinking. And down here on this bit we have like, I kept this rock, I just turned it into a pure rock, got rid of the sand down one side. And then we built like a little sort of anchor on the top here. Our village breeder was built in this segment over here. And then we've got, over here was the lighthouse. And then if we come up over to here, it's like talking about plans here. If you haven't seen the rest of the series, this won't make sense until we flick over to it in a minute. But it's just weird to see this because this is, we have been, literally, this is the anniversary, right? I'll put a picture of it up on here now. Our very first video went up on the 6th of June 2020 on the Unorthoblocks server, and it is now the 6th of June when this video goes up. It's going to be the 6th of June 2021. So we are exactly 1 year since we posted our very first Unorthoblocks video with our small starter home, and I say small in quotation marks because everyone comments that's like not small. And then we went on and just built the rest of the DrakenSpire. But yeah, we come out here, the outer city would be around here. In fact, actually that's the lake that sits in the middle of the outer city at the side there, and we've got like normally a mansion on the side here. And we go over to that way, you got the harbours over that side and the air harbour that sort of sits out into the actual bay. And then we come down this way, we got like this river here as well. This is the river that's sort of going around some of our farmland. We have our first farm that we built, rural farm was here. And then we built a couple more here. The meaderies around about here as well underneath us. Over there, that bit of rock sticking up in the middle there with all the trees on, that becomes like where we build an outpost on top of there with like a little watchtower. We come over to this way, and this would be where Blackstone Village is, that sort of village we built with the black roofs and the black stone church sort of down here, and there's another portal on the end of this plinth here. So as we head away from where the DrakenSpire is, the land becomes a little bit more familiar. It looks a little bit more like what we've seen, because I haven't been changing the land that much. I've just been doing small alterations, maybe got rid of all the trees. And this gives you an idea of how many trees we've felled, because all of these trees have gone, like literally have gone. And we've only got a few trees left lying around in the place. But yeah, somewhere over here on top of that hill over there, we built the windmill. But yeah, we flattened the mountains. We literally just got rid of the mountains. I think that's the biggest change there. But we've done a lot of terraforming and the rest of the thing here. But yeah, this is what the DrakenSpire looked like before I got hold of it. And oh, there's like a village over here as well. I forgot there was a village here. This is actually where we got our villagers from originally, that we moved over to a village breeder in like the first couple of episodes. We stole the villagers from here, and then when I came back to it, I think raiders must have got to the place because all the rest of the villagers had gone. So I think raiders have got here and taken out the rest of the villagers around here. But we ended up demolishing. This is now underneath a harbour. We got a harbour built here. But here's something. Yeah, this wasn't there when I joined the world, because this is actually, I'm in 1.16 at the moment, and our world was generated in 1.15. So the broken portals didn't exist in 1.15. So this is actually new. I didn't know this would have been here, that there would have been a portal here. So that's something that was that's been added since. And actually, here's something as well. There's a little bit of differences in the world terrain generation, because in here, on the 115 generation, there was actually lava pouring inside of this actual cavern here. This cavern existed, but there was lava inside of it. So there are some subtle differences. Not majorly, but we can see some subtle differences to when I first got here and what is the 116 generation version of this world. Actually, it'd be intriguing to come back here on this world and see what it's like in 117 and in 118 when the terrain generation massively changes in 118 as well. I can't even remember those blocks being up there as well. Maybe they were, but I don't remember those blocks being sort of hovering in the air above here as well. But yeah, I mean, you can generally see what the DrakenSpire is like, and in fact, actually, the spire itself sort of occupies this area here, if I remember rightly. Yes, because that's the sort of under the lip there, and then that's where we go out to the actual air harbor here. It's absolutely crazy though to see this world back like it was before I touched it. But of course, I'm Draken, welcome to the Draken Gameworks. This is 1 year on, and let's have a look and see what it was like. Or what has happened, shall we say. And hasn't that land changed? This is, of course, the DrakenSpire as it now stands. And we're actually stood on top of the spire here, looking down. But yeah, you can see how the spire has actually dramatically changed. All of that land that we were looking at a year ago that was completely blank, we have cleared mountains. There were mountains all across here, as you saw, mountains everywhere, and they have vanished. They have gone. We have filled it with farms and this massive city, and we're talking about actual farms as well as rural style farms over there. We all have all sorts of stuff over here. We have airships all over the place, and we've got that over there as well. We've got the harbour that's coming along in the air harbour. Things have developed quite well here actually. Let's take a look from out over here as well, and you can get a kind of an idea of how far we have come in a year. 1 year on Unorthoblocks, and this is what we have built so far. It's hard to believe sometimes that this is a survival build. This is survival. Not hardcore. This would be even more extreme if this was hardcore. I haven't quite got to that level, but it's certainly survival. And yeah, you can see that we have this massive city that we have built of the DrakenSpire that is just occupying all of that land that we were just flying over a minute ago. But absolutely awesome. But this isn't the only thing, you know, this isn't, it doesn't stop. We keep working, we keep building. I did a stream earlier this week where we were working on a mycelium farm, and also a mushroom farm, and we built those up on stream, and then we also decorated them up on Thursday. But it's not the only things that we have been working on this week. Also this week I have been working on a few other things, and I think that means it's about time for us to go into a time lapse. And yeah, there's another section of the city completed. And just down here, actually, we look there, we now have a city barracks, and I've also turned around and built our mushroom farms there on the side there, and the mycelium farm. It's all been built over with a natural design around it as well. We'll take a look at that closely at the moment. I just wanted to take a chance to step back, and we saw at the beginning of this video what this place looks like when it was first started, when we first looked at it afresh, and now we're able to look at it, and yeah, you can see how much work has been done and how much there's still a little bit left to be done as well. You got like a little mystical forest to go off over there, there's some lands over to that side to be done, and also we've got to do this segment still down at the dockyards there. There's still bits and pieces. We've got to move Lady Beck's rubber duck that she left for us, as we'd already planned to put some boats down there already. But we're going to build some extra bits and pieces. There's bits around the side there. We need to build ourselves. I want to build like a little wizard's college or something sort of between these two raised plinths there as well, to sort of sit opposite the barracks. And I think I might build like a little church or cathedral thing, just maybe down in this area somewhere here as well, just to help fill it out, along with some sort of warehouses and stuff down in the docksides. So we got some plans for what we want to do with what's with the rest of this at the moment. But look at how far we've come. I mean, we can literally just sort of perch on the edge here. This is just looking outwards here. So this is looking at the outer city. So we've got the outer city, sort of the first part of the outer city we did over there with the mansion. We got the map room over there. We've got a market over the fireplace there. And then we come around, in recent weeks we built also the sugarcane farm and the bone meal farm and the podzol farm. We just built the barracks and the mycelium farm. And then obviously we've got all of this still to go as well. We've got the dry docks that we've already built in. There's 2 more dry docks over the far side to build. They're smaller ones to obviously be built. And we've got some more buildings. We built a couple of buildings there, but we've got a lot more buildings to be put in there. And then if we sort of come back a bit, well, actually we can look from here as well. You can see we've got the gardens on this side of the wall that we've done with the maze and stuff like that. And there's a private dockyard down there as well that's coming off the actual gardens to the spire. So that all surrounds around here. And then if we come into the actual spire itself, you've got down there, we've got like a cannon factory, and we've got one of the airship yards there. We've got the museum, and we've got some generators there. We've got the fungus blasting chamber. There's another dry dock just tucked in there behind everything. In fact, actually, there's got several ships being constructed there. We've got over there. In fact, actually, it's just out of view there. It seems to have cut itself off again. There's like a lighthouse at the end there, which we can't see on the map at the moment. But we've got our villager trading hall and village breeders, and we've got like our sweet berry farm there and everything else. This is like, it's huge. It is huge. And then if we come, and that's just on that side. If we come around to this side, obviously we've got, as you guys know, we have this tower here, which has our sort of gold farm at the bottom of it, but it's also around the other side of there is where we've got a load of airships being docked. There's a couple we can see here, but there's more on the other side. And we come this side, we've also got more to see. We've also actually got the rest of the spire down there. And we've also got those at the top there. And one of the other things I built this week, I wanted to actually show off, which was while we're over this side, is that we actually, you may have noticed as we were sort of scanning around out back here, we've got all of the rural scape that we've been working on. And we've finished doing a bit of terraforming down this area. So you can see where there's like the little bridge in the distance there going between the 2 farm fields. That's all been terraformed around that area. So we've just got the coastline left to terraform. And you can also see there's like a ruined tower up there that we've built. And then if we come down to here, you can see that we've actually terraformed around the pond and the lake, and we've also turned around and put another farm in there. So there's another farm sort of connecting between the farms that we built before and also to there. So that was being done in the time since the last video and this one as well. In fact, let's go and have a quick sort of look as we fly over here. Now this is the thing I want to see here. I want to see how far we can fly without actually using a rocket. If we just jump off the top of the spire, can we get to the other side here? I think we can. I think it gives us enough momentum from that height to actually bring us all the way over the land of the DrakenSpire. We may be able to reach the other side of the island. I mean, I'm not going to go for the other side of the island here, but we can certainly reach the southern tip of the island here. Look at that. And there we are. We can see we still got plenty of momentum left, and that's from the top of the DrakenSpire. No rockets whatsoever. How far? Maybe that should be a contest to see who can, get the furthest from the DrakenSpire itself. I mean, I got this plan for them, like maybe doing some Olympics around the DrakenSpire at some point in the future, but we shall see. But this is the ruined tower we built. I quite like this one actually. It's kind of got that sort of ruined look, sort of sitting out here in the wilds, sort of overlooking here. But yeah, we've done this bit, and then if we sort of fly over here, we can see where we terraformed this area. And you got the bridge here, and you got like this, almost like this area here is also very muddy down here. It's almost like this is where all the water would run to, but it's not quite enough for a stream. Yeah, and then we get the water coming in there as well. That looks alright. That's cool. But yeah, this is so terraform that area. And as I say, you may remember from previous episodes, we've had the lake here as well, with the stream coming down from the pond at the top here, which is right beside the meadery. That's all been terraformed in the area as well, so that kind of all looks like it's wild. We built another little farm hut here, and which helps if I don't try and take off behind a bush. And we have some more fields here, and this sort of just connects over to this side over here where we have the lumber yard here as well. And here was a stroke of luck, right? So if you guys know about like how bees nests spawn in the wild, when you're growing your trees, I built these trees and sort of, say I've mentioned before, the way I make these trees is I bone meal them up as birch trees and then replace the birch wood with oak. But when I put the birch trees down, the first one, this one came up as a bee's nest. The second one I planted straight after it was this one, which also produced a bee's nest, which is pretty rare to get 2 in a row. But then the next one I did was actually this one back here, which also had a bee's nest, so that's 3 in a row. And then we had this one over here I planted, which also was the 4th one, which was 4 in a row, and yet 4 bee's nests in a row. What are the chances of you actually getting that when you're actually spawning trees? So that's pretty awesome. We have these 4 bee's nests sort of sitting over here, but they've got plenty of flowers to keep them occupied around here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I wanted to show this area off, but also obviously you've just seen the time lapse of the new stuff that we have built down here. And if we come down over to here, you can see we have the barracks itself. I'm liking this sort of area here. This is kind of nice. I haven't done the interior of the barracks yet. This is very much typical with a lot of stuff I've built recently. I haven't done the interiors, but I will come back and do those at some point. But I love it. It sort of feels like big and imposing, but then when you look at it against the rest of the DrakenSpire, it's tiny because the DrakenSpire is so big. But we come in here and we got, this is going to be like the main hall in here. This will probably be a hall, and then we'll probably have the rooms up above and sort of the floor above. But yeah, we have like a fountain out here, but we've also got some training areas as well here. We've got like this here for practicing your archery, so you've got your little archery range here. And then over the other side here, we've got some armor stands that have been done up with, you know, obviously I'm not going to try and break them. I think they should be locked, so we shouldn't be able to destroy them. But yeah, they've got like shields and the thing there. It's like little test dummies. Training dummies. I'm trying to think of the proper word there. Training dummies here in the middle of the barracks. So it's quite a good position for the barracks as well. Just grabbing a sleep here. Because obviously we've got the internal bit here, but we've also got the exterior wall to it. It's got his windows, he's got his flag there. But obviously we now have these fortified walls that are also helping to, so you've got the fortified walls below, but we've got these as well, which are overlooking the main pathway that leads into the main entrance into the city. So this is actually a real good position to be putting the barracks, sort of overlooking that sort of position here. We can go around over to this side, and you can see this side as well sort of oversees the main path as well. So this is a really defendable position. And to make it even better, obviously that to get to this place, well not obviously to get this place, but to get to this place, this is up on the highest of the plinths over here. So I'll sort of call them plinths, like these things here. We've got some housing that I built around the bottom here as well. We'll show you that because that wasn't on the time lapse. But to get here, you'd have to come up through the main entrance, through a tunnel under here, and then come up the stairs around here. So there are plenty of sort of choke points that can be used, which is really what you want when you're sort of kind of defending it. So to get to the barracks as well is a little bit difficult. Even though it's in the outer city, it's not an easy thing, like if an attacker was to attack the city, to be able to actually get here. And as well as sort of the outside of the barracks here, we've got the main entrances here. Again, they're small entrances. They're meant to be because it's meant to be choke points. We also have a few of the houses sort of tucked around the outside here. A bit more of the design we have in the outer city that was we looked over the other side there, and yeah, you can see they're all this all sit around here. We've got these built here, and then if we go over to here, this is what we built on stream in the week. We built a mycelium farm and a mushroom farm, and then we decorated up. Well, we decorated the mycelium farm on stream. The rest we did afterwards. We've got a few more houses down the side here, but this is a mycelium farm. We did a podzol farm the other week. So literally, you come in here, you get your spade. I was going to say spade, your shovel. Spade is a very, very British term there, but yeah, you get your shovel and you sort of just dig up the mycelium from there. And then this uses a very similar principle. I'm not going to do all of it here a second. This is going to pop it down underneath here for us, but we use a very similar principle to what we did with the podzol farm, where if we, I just need to grab a little bit of dirt there a second, that will do. And if we put this into on mode, you can see we can just load it back up like this, and again we have the automatic dirt reloader here as well. I might do a tutorial on this one, because this one I think, I haven't seen this one around, this exact design around. I've seen stuff where it's similar. I sort of went and had a look at a few different ideas and designs for Mycelium farms, but this one is kind of one which I kind of built from scratch after having seen a few other people's ways of doing it. So it kind of got my own sort of spin to it, and it's kind of sort of mixing that bit that you saw on Ilmango's farm, where he has the automatic dirt reloader, and the dirt's now all reloaded and ready to start spreading mycelium again. But yeah, if we come out here, this door here, that's just going into the redstone there. I always like having access to the redstone, just in case there's a problem, we can actually get into there. So we kind of have it tucked away. But yeah, if we come around to this side, you'll be able to see that we have like all the mycelium starts stocking up in here. But if we come around to over here, we also have what we call a mushroom farm as well. I always thought mushrooms were a bit difficult to harvest, and then I looked it up, and this is based on a design by Abermans actually, but I've kind of varied it a bit to sort of suit myself a little bit. One of the things I used less hoppers, for example, down the end here we used a bit more water streams, but otherwise it's the same sort of principle. The roof comes up above. I kept it a bit light, because what I've done is I've only blocked off as much as necessary to keep this at light level 12. That way mobs won't spawn on it, because it's not below light level 7, well, below level 7 and below, but it is below level 12 and below, which enables us to plant mushrooms. And if we grab the mushrooms here, and I've got 2 axes on standby here as well, so we've grabbed those as well, the 2 axes. We've got a mushroom axe, and we've got a blocky axe, as I call it. So first of all, if we come over to here, oh, have I not picked up some bone meal? I need bone meal as well. In fact, I've got some left in the chest there. That's fine. Grab that. So this will work with both types of mushrooms. So if we do the brown mushroom first of all, and we got this one. This is the mushroom axe. So we've grown ourselves a giant mushroom, and if we farm this up, we should be able to reach all of the spots from this actual dirt block as well. He says, not being able to do that. Oh yeah, sorry, just needing to move forward a little bit. Just being careful not to fall into the water. There we are. Right. Okay. But yeah, this all sort of instant breaks, but this has looting on it, so it will actually loot up mushrooms, and as we're breaking this, there is a chance, you can see one just dropped there, that mushrooms will fall, and we'll end up with more mushrooms than we've actually used to plant it. So that's the way that we increase the number of mushrooms that we got. And then using the red mushroom as well, we can do the same with both of these. It works both the same way. We also have a blocky axe, and the blocky axe instead, as you can see, if we use this instead, it's going to give us the mushroom blocks instead. This has got silk touch on it basically. So one's got the looting enchantment on it. Is it looting, or is it the other one? Fortune, sorry, the fortune enchantment. So it gives us more chance of having a mushroom drop, and then the other one has silk touch on it, which enables us to actually farm up blocks instead. So we can actually farm both types of the mushroom stuff into there as well, which increases our numbers of mushroom, which is awesome. Which is something I've got planned for my next segment, or next video, I'd imagine. That's what I would like to do anyway. Let's put those axes back. There's an island off to the south, just outside of here. This is something I want to do over the sort of the next week, is to probably finish the terraforming of the coastline along here. So we've done all the way down here, but you can see that the coastline hasn't been terraformed yet. Maybe do something a little bit extra with these sort of bits around here. Maybe build something down here. I haven't quite decided what yet. If you've got an idea, let us know in the comments below what kind of things we could build along the coastline to make it interesting. But I'm thinking I might turn this island into like a mini mushroom island and have basically like a giant mushroom with a house in it, kind of a bit like the Telvanni from the Elder Scrolls series. It's kind of what I'm thinking. So that island's going to be used for that over there. But yeah, this has been quite some progress over here at the moment. So, when I was streaming the other day, I had a couple of the guys from the server actually pop into my chat, and they were talking about the fact that there is basically no one's resupplying rockets at the moment on the server. Now, if you've been watching other Unorthoblocks videos, you'll be aware there are actually a couple of rocket shops. Here's one here. This one belongs to Forge 1, and I believe Toberson 3D as well. And if we come up into here, you can see that they have a bunch of different sort of the stacks of their rockets here, and you've got 6 stacks for 1 diamond, and yeah, completely empty. None here whatsoever. And I believe, I think they've got a couple here of the duration free. It's 1 stack is 1 diamond, and 3 stacks for 1 diamond of the flight duration 2s there. So there's a couple left of the flight duration 2s in here. But yeah, there's only a couple of rockets left in here. Which is obviously going to be causing a bit of a problem there, and they've got nothing in the upper floor there. So that's one of the rocket shops. So they're completely out of flight duration 1s, and they're nearly out of flight duration 2s and 3s. And then if we come over, of course this isn't a problem for us because we actually build our own rockets. So we have our own gunpowder farm and we have our own sugarcane farms and everything else. We build our own rockets. But there is a second rocket shop that was on the server, and that's down in the mall over this way. And that belongs to the Mighty High and or Mighty Shelly Corp. We come down here. I know it was mainly probably just stocked up by Mighty High, actually, thinking this one, but I believe it is part of the Mighty Shelly Corp. It's just down in this one. Here we are, just in this corner here. And again, you've got 7 stacks of flight duration 1s for 1 diamond, completely out of flight duration 1s, completely out of flight duration 2s, and completely out of flight duration 3s. It is completely empty. So Mighty's shop is completely empty. Forge 1 and Toberson 3D shop is nearly empty. And yeah, people were like, we need these. And Toberson 3D and Forge 1 I don't think are going to be back for this season. They may be back for season 2, but they're not going to be back for the rest of season 1. They moved on to do other things at the moment themselves. And we haven't seen Mighty High for about a month or 2 either, so I think he's probably given it a bit of a rest as well until whatever we do next occurs, anyway, at least. So this has left the server without any rockets at the moment. So we've got quite a high production gunpowder farm, and we also have obviously a sugarcane farm. So I have gone ahead and actually built on the server here another rocket shop here. So we now have actually stocked up. These are all flight duration 1s. We've actually built just next door to our kelp store this this rocket shop, and then we've also got the flight duration 2s down here as well. We've got a load of those. I haven't got quite as many flight duration 3s in at the moment, just working my way through at the moment, just getting them done there. And I've also sold a couple there, which I got the diamonds for the other day. Now, we've got these here. Now, this is what made me laugh about it. So you'll see the price on here. We're actually a little bit more expensive than the other 2 rocket shops, and that's deliberate. And the reason being is that crafting rockets is a pain. I'll be honest, taking the gunpowder and then having to build the sugarcane into paper, and the fact that you can't do it straight off a crafting table, you've got to put them into the matrix itself. It's using the old school method of crafting. Massively crafting large numbers of rockets is really much a pain, so I don't want to be constantly doing it. So I wanted to put it at a price here which is a little sort of not discouraging, but also sort of compensates the fact that I just really don't want to play around with this, because to be honest, all the sort of most profitable businesses, they require you to do a little bit more and go that little bit further. Rockets require you to do all the mad crafting. Then we have trees, which you have to sort of chop down. That's my other business with the collective at the moment. We also have to do concrete is also another one like that. Oh yeah, that's my main business as well, is concrete. So I've got a lot of businesses, and kelp here, for example, you have to do the same sort of thing. You have to craft it up with the kelp and everything as well. A lot of my businesses require you to go those extra steps. You can't just pick it out of the farm and put it in for sale. You actually have to go and do additional stuff with it as well. And it becomes a bit of a pain as well for those sort of things. And it's like, I wasn't really keen on doing another shop like that. But I thought, well, tell you what, if I put it at this price, so it's 1 diamond for 4 stacks, it's a bit more expensive than the other 2 stores. So if Forge 1 or Toberson 3D or Mighty High, or if Shelly was to come in here and restock their shops, any of them stock their shops, then their shops would probably be a better price and people would go to that one. And then we're just here for basically if those shops aren't stocked. And likewise, if someone else wanted to start a rocket shop business, because we already got loads of businesses, again, they could easily undercut our prices and people would go primarily there, and this would be used mainly as a backup. And I'm quite happy with that. So this is here for sort of a surplus that people need it. I get to make a bit of diamonds on the side as well if people need it as well. It's a little bit more expensive than those stores. At the moment, it's the only store operating, so I mean, if you want to get your rockets pre-built, then there is where you need to get it from, is going to be from here. This is the only place that you can really get it at the moment. However, and this is the thing that made me laugh, because people were complaining about the fact that there were no rockets around. Yeah, I have had down in here in the stall, and it hasn't sold anything for ages, gunpowder for sale, and it's selling at 1 diamond for 4 stacks. Now, if you know how Minecraft works, you will know full well that 4 stacks of gunpowder will translate into, if you've got 4 stacks of paper to go with it, will translate into approximately, I've just swapped them over there, haven't I, into 12 stacks of flight duration 1. So you could potentially have, for 1 diamond there, 12 stacks of flight duration 1, as long as you've got the sugarcane to go with it. So it's a lot cheaper to buy the gunpowder and build them yourselves. And this has been the case. It's been cheaper than the other sort of rocket stores since I built this store ages ago, and yet people don't use this. They just go straight to the pre-built rockets, probably because they need the sugarcane. And so I thought, well, I'll tell you what, because I don't mind farming up the materials, I can just AFK at the spots and get the stuff. It's just more of a case of I just find it a bit of a pain to actually craft them. We can also go for those who want it extra dirt cheap and who find those prices too expensive, or if you want 3 times your bang for your buck here, if you go next door now to our gunpowder store, I've built this little place here. And you see, take as much sugarcane as you need to make paper to go with sales from, we like to say, boom next door for rockets for free. Literally as it says on the tin there. No charge whatsoever to pick up sugarcane from these chests here if you are using it to craft rockets using the gunpowder bought from there. So yes, it's absolutely even dirt cheaper. All it means is that you've got to craft it yourself, and it saves me having to craft it. You get it dirt cheap. Or if you want it pre-built, if you can't be bothered to actually craft it, because you've got to turn the sugarcane into paper, and then you've got to use the matrix to build the rockets, then yes, I'll have the pre-built ones here as well, but it is going to be more expensive for the pre-built ones that way. And it depends on what people are. It depends if they're in a hurry or not, and how quick of a hurry they are. But I've got so many shopping businesses, I don't want to be really spending too much more time crafting up and getting supplies. I mean, I'm struggling. I put some extra spruce in here the other day into the wood shop because we're running low. We need some oak and stuff like that. And I'm struggling to find the time to actually restock some of our stores a little bit. I think the concrete store is also needing a small stock up. I remember yesterday Sunny was saying that she's brought us all out of the pink concrete for a project that she's working on. You'll have to keep an eye on her stuff to see what's going on there, but yeah, we're going to have to go and restock those as well at some point soon. But yeah, we have these gunpowder stores now that we didn't have before, so if you are on the server, come and get your rockets. And talking about the pink concrete, there we are. Yeah, we are completely out of pink concrete. I'm going to need to do a restock on that. I said I'll do that for Sunny today because I know she's got a big project on at the moment. But look at all of those diamonds, all that lovely money to spend. Let's go and chuck that into a chest over here. Ready, and add it to our diamonds. And see, this is the other side of it as well. You can see we've got a lot of diamonds already. We've got almost 3 stacks of diamond blocks at the moment. We don't need to actually be making a lot more diamonds at the moment. The only thing we're really sort of spending on is occasionally the odd bit of material, but normally we're spending it with like it's there for like Lady Bex when she does interiors, and I know she might not be able to get through a lot of it as well. So we haven't got a lot of need for our diamonds either. So we've got a lot of diamonds, but not much need for it. So I'm not really having to worry too much if someone came in and competed against that rocket business. That's perfectly fine, and it's not going to worry me at all. So yeah, 1 year in Unorthoblocks. We are 1 year on. This is the 1 year anniversary episode. We're going to have to do a 50th episode as well in about 5 episodes time, so that's got to be a bit of a special. So this isn't really a massive special, it's just more of a case of, yeah, look at what we've done, where we are, everything so far, and also all the work that we've done in the last couple of weeks. I didn't want to go too much into it. I just wanted to sort of say, yay, we've been here for a year, and it's been a great year as well. I've absolutely loved being on this server, and also being on the server with the rest of the Unorthoblocks guys as well, who you can find links to their channels down in the description below. Absolutely awesome people. Definitely go and check out all their builds. And maybe on the 50th episode, we might go and do a bit of a server tour. I think that might be my idea for the 50th episode. We're going to go and do a tour and see everyone else's builds and have a look at what everyone else has been up to recently. So we'll probably do that. But in the meantime, I've been Draken. This is the Draken Gameworks. Thank you for sticking with us for this last year so far. And long may it continue on and we get this whole place finished. I mean, there's not that much to go. Well, there's still, in terms of normal builders, it would be a lot, but in terms of what we have built, we are definitely through the majority. Yeah, don't forget, if you've enjoyed this, to leave a like and subscribe. It is massively appreciated, and we'll catch you guys all again next time. Take care. Bye.